guys, and welcome back to another Japanese ASMR with Saladsandbolts video. This time, we're going to be drawing Kawaki. I got a request to do this in ASMR Chain Smoker dub by Jolly Jinkler, so this is the video that I'm going with to dub this, and hopefully it works. Maybe I have to talk in like a little bit more of a Sasayaki quiet, but...
Get a piece of paper. 紙を用意して作ってみましょう。はい。You might want the top of his head to be cut off so you don't have to autofill that hair, so start kind of near the top of your paper. Sorry, I ran out of space. But yeah, so we're gonna go down at a slight angle, not too much of an angle. You don't want it to be like this. You don't want it to be straight up and down. It's just like kind of at a mild angle. Alright. And then you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Maybe like, I don't know, like this much of your pencil. Take an amount of your pencil. Basically, you just want it to be about a head shape. You don't, I mean, like you could do the whole circle thing if you want, where you do this and then you divide it and then you do this or whatever and you have the lines. If you want to do that thing, you can, but it's a little bit more complicated. So, we're just gonna make 2 lines and you're gonna hope for the best, okay? About somewhere down here-ish, you're gonna draw a little line like that. So you should have a shape that looks roughly like this, and make sure this is centered, because you don't want, like, you don't want your face to be too far, your chin to be too far on either side, right? This is gonna be a chin. Maybe it's a low. Maybe you should draw it a little higher. We can adjust this later, right? Okay. And then with a slightly curved line, so you don't want to draw it straight, that's not gonna look good. You're gonna want to slightly curve it into the other lines, if that makes sense, okay? And now, the way that you check if this is good or not is you flip your paper upside down. Does it still look symmetrical? If not, fix it. So like this side maybe needs to come over a little bit more. A little bit more. Yeah, that's a little better. So, it's not symmetrical, just, fix it, right? Alright, that looks pretty good. Now, we're gonna turn our paper back the correct way. Alright. And this is looking a little skinny, so I'm gonna shorten it a little. If you think yours looks too skinny, then you can make it smaller. So I'm gonna scale mine a little bit smaller than this one because I drew it skinny. Okay. Alright, now since the nose is the center of the face, that's kind of what we're gonna draw next. So we're gonna draw a line down the middle, right? Just like that. Okay? And then maybe put it up a little bit. You want the nose to kind of come to where you started your jaw. So like about here, right? So you want to draw this and this, like about here. That's your nose, okay? And then you're gonna draw like this because that's gonna be the shade, okay? I had to frown because Kawaki usually isn't happy, so we're gonna make him look sad and with the little lip thing. It's like shading, right, for his lips. Alright, I'm already starting to see how this is too skinny, so I'm just gonna fix it, right? We're gonna go out a little bit more on the sides. And then we're gonna go up. Sometimes, especially when you're drawing on a whiteboard, you're gonna have to move things around to make them look correct. Okay, better. You want your eyebrows to almost be connected by an imaginary line to your nose. So, take and go like that, kind of. Those are your eyebrows, right? I'm gonna make mine a little bit more curved in, because Kawaki is usually pretty angry. And you want them to be symmetrical, so again, turn it upside down, check it. So it looks good. Move on. Now we're gonna draw the top of the eye. So the top of the eye is gonna come to about here. You want it like in line with the sides of your face too-ish. And then we're just gonna draw almost the same shape as the eyebrows, and then you can adjust the eyebrows to make them more pinched, if that makes sense. Alright. And then you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So you don't have too close to the edge there. You want it straight a little and then curving down, and you want this to be kind of thicker with a little tiny line on top, a thinner line on top. There you go, now you have this weird face shape, okay? Then we're gonna draw a line in, like this, on the other side. So, notice how it's that way, it's slanted, it's not straight. You don't wanna draw a straight line down, definitely make it slanted in. And then we're gonna draw a straight line over to the edge. Okay, if you're with me so far, I think we're good. Then you're gonna draw a skinny line on either side, like that. Alright, that's his eye shape. We're gonna thicken this up just a little bit. Here we go. Alright, now, pretend like this is a full circle, and then just draw the sides. But you still want to pretend like it's a full circle, so that you have the whole eye shape. Oh gosh, that's bad. Oh well, it's fine, don't worry about it. Then we're gonna draw a circle and a circle. You want this circle to be centered, because if it's not centered, it's gonna look really strange. His eyes are a little bit bigger in this one than they are in my other one, but that's fine. And then just put some dots in here. Or if you're actually using a pencil, just like shade lightly, right? This is the Studio Pierrot version, this is the actual version. Alright, for his eyebrow piercings, you're just gonna draw 2 C's. And that's eyebrow piercing, right? It's beautiful. Okay, now we're gonna draw some ears. So start a hook and then go down to about where the jaw is. That's ugly. And then another hook. And then this weird little shape. And the piercing. Right, if we need to adjust, we can adjust the angle. Beautiful. And do the same thing on the other side. Here. Okay, now, important thing here, actually if we want to do the neck first, the neck is gonna come about almost to where the jawline is. So like there. Maybe draw a little bit more over to the side, sorry. And then the shirt. It's gonna go like that. So you got a wrap, and then you have the neck lines. And then his clothes. That was really fast, I'm sorry. The neck comes almost to the edge of the jaw, but a little bit inside. So you draw the neck down. And then you have the shirt lines, because this collar shirt behind him. And the lines for his, I don't know what this is called. This is part of his neck, right? And then to make it look like clothes, just do that. Draw a little line, like a little tiny bit removed of an inside. And then, obviously, you got this part that it changes color here, so we're gonna draw that in. Beautiful, okay. If you want to make him look angry, now is your chance to adjust his eyebrows a little bit further down and inward, because the more further in your eyebrows go, the angrier you look. I feel like I changed it. Like absolutely nothing, but that's fine. Now we're gonna move on to the ear. So the first piece of hair that we're actually gonna start with is this piece over here, and just kind of like draw a little squiggle with a buzz line down, alright? And then this line goes like in like that, right? So it's like slightly slanted this way, and then this one's almost straight, but it's following the line of the jaw, kind of. And then it goes in just a little bit, so like a, kind of like a this shape, this curved kind of shape. Because then you want this piece of hair to do that, okay? Now you're gonna draw his hairline, so that's kind of like a rope arch shape, right? And now, we want a line that goes from here all the way down to almost where his pupil is. And you want it to be kind of curved. So don't move your arm, just move your fingers or your wrist. And make a little curve shape. And then we're gonna bring it right back up to about halfway, like here. So you don't want it quite all the way up to here, just slightly below, alright? And then you're gonna take this line, and you're gonna go down just right past this eye here. So you're gonna aim for here, right? And then in the middle, you're gonna connect. So where the middle is between his eyebrows, and you're gonna connect to the bottom of this line. And then you're gonna go below that, and you might end up drawing over your nose a little. That's okay, it's totally fine. Wait, and plan for that to happen. So maybe just erase, or you can draw and then erase what happened, like in the path. But you wanna come about, you see how this is in line with like the edge of this eye right here. You're gonna go over to the edge of this line and put a dot, and then you're gonna draw a curved line from this down to here. Alright, so that looks pretty good, right? And we have that centering, so just erase whatever is in the middle there. Alright, this is like looking more adultish. Just adult but child at the same time, because the lines are too big, but that's fine. Studio Pierrot Kawaki, everybody. Okay. Anyway, now you're gonna go over here, because I don't know why, but we're just gonna go back over here and just slightly below this, but like not all the way to the bottom. You're gonna draw a small hair that connects over here. Maybe that's too far out. You don't want it to be like too far past your ear here, but just like a little piece of hair, right? And another little piece of hair that just kind of goes like this. So again, I'm not drawing straight lines, they're all slightly curved. And then you're gonna go up like this. And this piece is almost gonna be in line with right here. So you start over here and you're slowly going inward, right? And a little swoop that goes up to the top. If you want, you can add dots to this to make it look like a buzz cut, but it's up to you, you don't have to. Sure. Sure. Alright, now you're gonna take this line, and you're gonna do the same thing where you're gonna go down to about where the pupil is, so the edge of the pupil, like here, with the curve, and then you're gonna go like that. So, as for how far up this is, it's pretty far up, but it's like not super far. The farther you make this, the bigger his forehead is, so if his forehead looks too big, then move this lines down some. There. And erase whatever your eyebrows end up interfering with. Okay. There's that, right? Now I gotta draw his horn. So the important part about his horn is actually the outer edge and not the inner edge. But we're gonna draw the inner edge from this line. And it's just a C that swoops up that way. Or for this outer edge, you wanna make sure it goes past his ear and over this way. Might be a little too far. Then you draw from top to bottom. Sorry, 1 second. This is really hard to do on camera. Alright. And so you have a shape that goes like that, and you can kind of adjust this to be however you want. If I don't like the shape, maybe make it a little bit fatter there. And then we're gonna put his hair inside of this as if it's like getting pushed up against this. So what you wanna do is make all the lines curving up this way. So this line is gonna be like this, and then like this, and like this, and then you have another line that goes up this way. So you want all your lines to kind of curve up, just slightly. You don't want any of them to be straight or a curve the other way. And then we're gonna put lines here that kind of follow the arch, so they go up as you go, right? Alright, so now we have that part. Then we're gonna draw the outline around Kawaki's eye. So you have the lines, and you want to pretend like it's a straight line that goes all the way through. So like kind of measure where your line is, right? and leave about the same line distance of space and come back over and draw another line. And this is gonna go almost all the way up the horn, but not quite. And then you 2 more. And it kind of gets thinner as it goes up a little bit as well. But you want to keep them parallel, so you don't want them, you're gonna color them into, so if you make a mistake, it's fine. And then for this part, you're gonna like curve it in slightly. And just color that. And then just fill this in a little. I'm just doing scribbles, but if you have an actual piece of paper, then like fill it, slightly lighter color than, whatever. Okay. Now I have to draw the lines on his neck. They're like a little bit thinner, but they kind of follow. Maybe you got me speaking off thicker. Just shade this in. Alright. Beautiful. Kawaki complete. His eyes are too big. Oh well. If you have pencil, this is the time you can shade in his hair. And if you want to do the shading, I can kind of do it with my pencil a little bit that looks like this. That's totally fine. Well, because that's like the lazy way of shading, so you don't actually have to shade it. But you can do this thing and then rub it with your finger to blend it. You can also shade in these parts, because this is the darker part of his jacket, especially like around his neck area here. You get some shading in, like a little down here. Yeah, anyway, you can shade whatever, and like the inside of his ears, kind of. It's kind of hard to do with a marker, but yeah. You can also, like, fix this a little, because it's not supposed to be white. There. It's beautiful. It's Kawaki. So, if you want to share with me your drawing, feel free to add me on Twitter and let me know how it turned out. Have fun.